Hey, Catalyst crew. Welcome to Catalyst Corner, episode 25. It's Thursday, so we've got Jim F0123 Art on with us, and yeah, let's get into it. How you doing, Jim?
Doing good. How you been?
Not bad. Busy. Very busy.
Yeah.
We've been really, we've kicked the shop into high gear.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
Posting new products every day.
Every day.
5 a day.
It's a lot.
It is.
It's a workload.
It doesn't seem like a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about making stickers. So 5 stickers, not 5 stickers a day. We do 1 sticker a day. We do the foil art print bookmarks. Yep. We do an art print.
Yes.
We do coasters. The laser engraved coasters. And a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So the T-shirt is, we're making shirts now.
Shirts are coming along. They look really nice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with them. So, posting every day, really cranking everything into high gear. So, been busy.
Yeah.
Been pretty busy.
It shows.
Appreciate that. It's, the weather's warm.
You know what? I said that today. I'm like, I had to open my windows, and I'm like, I'm hot. Like, I'm legitimately hot today.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And it wasn't that it was that actually warm out. It was only in like the mid 60s, but for whatever reason, it felt very hot today.
Yeah, it was a beautiful fall day.
Yes, it was.
Have you seen anything?
I have.
Oh.
So.
Excuse me.
Oh. It's the Halloween season, so what
it is
better to watch than Halloween Ends?
I also saw Halloween Ends.
Yes.
Good. So
okay.
we can.
Let's
I'm
dive
excited
into that.
I'm excited to talk to you about
Yeah.
this. So right off the bat, did you like it?
So this is a complex answer. So I went into it thinking it was going to be hot garbage.
Yeah.
And it started out like that premonition was going to be true.
Okay.
And then I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't mind the ending. When it ended, I was like, okay, that's satisfactory. Like, I wasn't overall thrilled with the show, but I think it gave it a proper closure.
So I'm going to take a completely opposite stance. I thought it was as bad as Zombie's Second Halloween.
Oh, and that is bad.
And here's why.
Okay.
It felt so disjointed.
Oh, it did. Oh, absolutely it did.
From the rest of the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even understand.
Right.
So that right there, I have like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. So immediate, like, from that right there, you lose me.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck?
Right. It was tough to follow for the majority of the movie.
Like,
as
what?
far
We
as,
did a time jump?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Why?
I have no idea why.
That wasn't even the original plan.
No.
So I thought that was awful.
Yeah.
I thought the fact that Lori was just fine.
Yeah.
She was just fine.
Yeah, she's writing a book.
Not
Okay.
even writing a book. She was fine. He killed her daughter at the end of the last movie. 4 years, she's fine.
Yeah,
she's gotten
over it.
Yeah,
She's got the granddaughter.
The previous 25 years, she's been a shut-in preparing for Michael Myers, and he escaped 4 years ago after killing his daughter. But she's fine. She's she's gonna live, love, laugh.
But she's used to it now.
Yeah,
it's a commonplace for her now. He's gonna kill my family and loved ones. I know that. I'm gonna deal with that. I'm good. I'm good.
I was not good.
Yeah.
And then the kid. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. I'll tell you, and the reason what really scared me is I thought they were going to pull a professional wrestling on me, and it was like, oh, anybody can wear the mask, and Michael,
then it makes you Michael Myers.
Right, and you were just going to, someone else, a new person was just going to fill the character, and Michael Myers was going to live on, so you were going to kill. So my fear was you were ending the actual Michael Myers, but his it was going to keep going with a new person in the mask, so it wasn't really going to end. It was just kind of going to begin with somebody new, and I'm like, don't do that, please. Don't do that. Don't make it so that Michael Myers is just going to be, this forever character that anybody can be.
And I agree with you. I wouldn't want anything like that. But I do like kind of that, Michael is a virus, right? Like,
sure.
He does implant fear into a community and cause them to act, irrationally.
Sure, absolutely.
So I like that kind of.
Yeah, that part of it was fine. Yeah.
But what really bothered me was we kind of touched on the last Halloween Kills that he was a supernatural entity.
Yeah.
No.
He just got lucky. You didn't get a vital artery or organ that actually killed him.
So there was just I think if you just look at it as its own movie, it's whatever. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Right.
But if you look at it as a direct sequel to Halloween Kills, it's fucking awful.
Yeah. Yeah. And the only reason I say it was a satisfactory ending is it seems to be over. Like, there was no, he could still be alive.
He's dead.
Right. It's like, it ended.
Yeah, they put him in,
Right. He's gone. They're not having somebody replace him where somebody else is going to pick up where he left off.
Right, but the bulk of the movie
done.
was about the kid.
Yeah.
Which was fucking ridiculous.
Which I thought was completely ridiculous.
Right, that's what I'm saying is, like, for me, for a Michael Myers movie, for a Halloween movie, it felt like Halloween 3. Like, he wasn't even fucking in it.
Right. And, the thing is, it's like, this wasn't a matter of a good kid who Michael Myers seeped into his subconscious and eventually it took over his psyche. This was a kid who had these problems and he just, really expounded upon them and let them all come out. And so it wasn't like there was a descent into madness here.
No, but like even when he was
just a bad seed.
dating Laurie's granddaughter, right? And he's fucking, I kill people. And she's just like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, you do? Cool.
Right.
I know other people that kill people.
She's like, well, there's this guy. I don't know if you know this, but yeah. I don't know. I was gobsmacked because I was like, how did this happen? Because I liked the first one. I didn't think it was anything crazy, but it was fine. I thought the second one was pretty good. And I was like, all right, so I assume, we're just going to continue on. Laurie wants revenge for her daughter being murdered.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously she got it by killing him in the end. We
don't even touch on it. Not even like, I miss her too. Like,
well, she mentioned it. She mentioned it in passing. Like as she's writing her book.
Right. She's like, and his memory is going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, unless you read my book.
Yeah. If you read my book, I'll mention, oh, by the way, he killed my daughter.
Right.
Just in case you didn't know that. The
entire book is about him, but, his memory is going to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Except
I'm just glad that they ended it and they're not going to keep on making just horrible movie after horrible movie. Like,
yeah, sure they're not.
Yeah. They will.
Of course they will. So yeah, for me, Halloween Ends, 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, it was not the ending that anybody would have really wanted, but like I said,
it's rating out decent.
Yeah, it is. I mean, people seem, and I think that the fact is that you got a conclusion, right? There was a definitive, or it appears that there's a definitive conclusion. So it's like you took the trilogy, you've got a beginning, middle, and an end of this trilogy, obviously.
Sure, and I mean, it does kind of bookend Carpenter's,
Yeah.
And you had Jamie Lee close it out. But I don't know. For me, it was very unsatisfying.
Yeah.
It really was. And
I think that it was a little bit too long. I think that was part of it for me, too. Like, it kind of dragged there for a little while, too.
So I want to talk about, speaking of too long, right? I want to talk about something I watched recently.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's move. If you have any other thoughts on Halloween.
No, I'm good.
All right. Yeah, I would. Honestly, I wouldn't recommend it.
No. But it's Halloween, so watch it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, don't be ridiculous, I mean, I'm watching Halloween H2O with
Right.
Busta
Yeah.
Rhymes, like kicking him in the chest and shit.
It's Halloween.
Yeah,
Love
gotta,
it.
gotta.
Love it for right now.
Got to. Have you ever heard of The Terrifier?
I have heard of it, yes.
Okay, so I watched the first one.
Okay.
I watched All Hallows Eve a long time ago, and that's where Art the Clown kind of popped up. And then I watched Terrifier 1, and it's kind of gore porn.
Yeah.
Art the Clown is a great looking character.
Yeah. And yes, I have seen images of the character. I've not seen the movies, but the character itself definitely looks intriguing.
Sure, and like I said, a lot of it is kind of gore porn.
Okay.
But he's a very interesting looking character, and Terrifier's not bad. It's got its moments.
Okay.
So Terrifier 2 came out.
Yes.
And have you read any of like the articles or whatever?
No, I have not.
So like I was excited because I was like, oh, I like Terrifier 1. More Art the Clown is not I think Art's a great killer.
Yeah.
Like I think he's gonna, I think as time progresses, if they keep churning these out, he's gonna show up.
Yeah.
I read a headline that said people are vomiting in the theater.
Yeah.
And that shit makes me angry because I'm like, nobody's fucking.
no one's
nobody's
doing
vomiting.
that
Like,
unless you have too much popcorn.
Right, but nobody's vomiting because of the fucking movie.
Never.
So I got my hands on it,
Okay.
and it's like 138 minutes long.
Oh, jeez.
It's the longest slasher film I've ever seen.
Yeah, that seems a bit ridiculous.
So I think you could have cut out 45 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
But taking that aside, great.
Is it?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's really, really good. It's fun. It's very gory.
Okay.
The makeup effects are great. All practical. Like just
Nice.
everything you want to see.
Yeah. Awesome.
Art's up to his old tricks. It's creepy. It's good. It's good. I recommend it.
Good.
I mean, but the problem is that it's 138 minutes.
Yeah.
And for a fantasy movie, that's long.
Right.
So for a horror flick, right?
Yeah, that's very long for horror.
Right. So I did a little research after I watched it, and I found out that the director does the makeup, the editing. He's like
wow.
he's a one of those guys.
Okay.
Right. So I give him a lot of props.
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm going like maybe you let someone edit.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you could have cut 45
Right.
minutes out.
But at least we're getting a modern day slasher that
Art's
hopefully
great. He's great.
is going to continue on, because we don't have. I mean, we obviously have the iconics, but we don't have newer ones that are going to carry us into.
What we had Scream 5, right? But that's again, that's kind of. I would even lump Ghostface in with kind of.
Yeah, what was that? Like the early 90s when that originally came out?
Yeah,
was
like
that
97 or 98.
Yeah, okay,
I
later
think.
90s. Yeah. Okay, so that's been a while.
He's been around. He's been around. There's like Victor Crowley, I would say, is kind of one of your newer slashers. And again, that's kind of a fun sort of popcorn flick.
Right.
But I would say Art is definitely up there in the pantheon of, new slashers.
Great. That's what we need.
For
we
sure.
need more of that.
For sure. So, excited to see more.
Cool.
I definitely think they need to tighten it up, though. There's no reason it needed to be that long.
No, you're gonna lose an audience or a prospective audience with that.
Downstairs, and then I had to finish it in the bedroom because I was like, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, it's wearing me out.
Yeah, like
Art's wearing me out.
An hour and 40 minutes in, I was like, Jesus Christ, I still got 45 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's for a horror. It needs to be tight.
It's not even just. Terrifier is like it starts at 11.
Yeah,
it's amped to 11 from the beginning, and it's just like 2.5 hours. I'm sitting there going like, oh boy. Jeez.
It's a lot of killing.
Yeah, there's a lot of goop. Fucking Art the Clown. Oh, but pretty good. Definitely
I'll have to
worth
check
a
that
watch.
out.
And then I got one more for you, and we'll move on. I watched one last night called Hellhole.
Okay.
Which is me after I eat, spicy food.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
I got you.
But Polish flick.
Okay. All right.
English dub, though.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Nice.
And the gist of it is basically a cop goes to this convent and he's investigating the disappearance of these missing girls. It's possession, and
Okay.
I would say it was probably a C movie, and then the end brought it up to like a B+.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
fantastic.
Nice.
So atmospherically, though, it's filmed in Poland and it's filmed in this old fucking convent
Yeah,
and
what's
shit.
it? Old and cold?
Yeah, old and cold, obviously. But just kind of the structures and everything and the cinematography and the landscape, like you couldn't do that here.
Right.
So like that looks really, really good.
Nice.
So I would definitely recommend. So that's another.
Okay.
That's your
those
three.
Those are some good recommendations.
Stay away from Halloween Ends, except
until Halloween.
Well, if you're doing Halloween movies, watch it. But
Yeah.
don't expect much.
No.
I
Don't
would
expect
say,
much, but it's Halloween. It's Michael Myers, so soak it in.
Terrifier if you're willing to sit down and watch it, and Hellhole if you want a tighter, only an hour and a half, a tight possession flick. So that's it. That's it for movies. What else you got? What's going on?
Well, we got a lot of breaking news.
Tons.
A lot of things have been happening lately. We've got a new head of DC.
How did you feel? How did you feel about the announcement?
Mixed.
Me as well.
Mixed. What's your feelings on that?
So I think he can do it.
Sure.
But at the same time, I was like, oh, that's if he makes things go in the direction of everything is a joke, that's really not what I want for DC.
No.
So
my concern is this. I know James Gunn for 2 movies, right? Guardian. Well, you know what I'm saying. Stay with me. Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, right? This is what I know him from,
right?
Which are relatively the same type of movie.
Yeah, it's got the same tone.
But you've got like D-list characters that he made popular, right? Can he take A-list characters and keep them A-list? That I'm not sure of, because we don't have anything of evidence to support that. So I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just wondering, because Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman won't work like the Suicide Squad or Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, my hope is that he kind of brings a little more grit to it.
Yeah.
Like this is
that
really,
I hope.
So Todd Phillips, who directed Joker, did comedies.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he has it in him to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not alone. There's another guy, Peter Safran, who's also a part of this.
Right.
So I guess my big hope is continuity. I'm hoping that James Gunn is going to oversee every movie that's going to be made and make sure that tonally it's relatively close, and that one movie leads into another, and the consequences of one movie carry over into the next movie, like Kevin Feige does with Marvel. That's what I'm hoping James Gunn does, as opposed to movies we have now, which are just all over the place. They don't match in tone. They don't really interconnect very well. It's just all haphazard. And I think that James Gunn can organize the overseeing of all the properties and make them unified. And if he can at least accomplish that in and of itself, is going to be a big step forward for DCU.
Sure, and I agree with you there. And I'm hoping that, having liked the second Suicide Squad flick, I'm down for more of that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm down for more adult themed content.
Yeah.
And I think that, with comedical directors, like I said, Todd Phillips did a lot of comedies before he did Joker. So I'm sure he's got the darkness that he can kind of latch onto. So I hope it's the right call with James
do too.
Gunn.
I think, what I think you've got, though, is the support of the actors. The actors
he's a
that
great
are
guy.
Right. the actors that are currently in DC and the actors that he's worked with in other projects all really love and respect this guy. So he's going to have a real giant talent pool.
I think he would be great to do like a Superman.
Yeah.
Like a happy Superman, like the way Superman should be done.
Yeah, which he very well may. I mean, he's going to be doing projects too. Like, that's part of the deal, is he's also going to be directing projects, whatever he of his choosing. So we're going to get that as well.
You know, if I'm Disney, I'm firing that fucking executive. You know.
Oh yeah.
What, like, he's an executive now.
Yeah, especially with what is being churned out by Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, what
because
a dumpster fire.
Because you're gonna get that third Guardian. See, here's the thing too, right? You're gonna get that third Guardians of the Galaxy.
Then that's it.
But I don't think he's gonna be able to do any press for that, because he's gonna be a DC, because he takes effect November 1st. Officially in that role.
Yeah.
And that's not coming out for a while. So I can't see although James Gunn directed it, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything as far as press or red carpet or anything for Marvel, because I don't think DC is going to allow that.
Probably not.
So not that it's going to matter. I mean, because he did it. Everybody knows he directed it, and you're going to have its success. I just think that James Gunn isn't going to be affiliated with it once it comes out.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably be I'm sure he'll be at the opening, but I don't know. I think it's an interesting I'm curious to see kind of what he does, because what's unique about him is he's a director.
Right.
Like Feige is not.
Right.
It's not like Feige was churning out movies.
No.
So I'm curious to see what James Gunn can do, you know, given the keys. Now, the other thing I think he has working against him is the way that kind of Discovery is axing almost, what is it, $2 billion worth of content?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You know, you bought these properties. You're going to have to bleed a little bit before, you know.
Yeah. I think what I'm hoping, though, too, is that with the people that are now in charge, you know, all of the executives that Zaslav has put in charge.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping now is you're going to get the right actors in these roles, and you're not going to have issues with them.
Well, I think what we're seeing now is kind of a, you know, I think, you know, I've been very vocal about how I don't like, you know, kind of forced wokeness.
Right.
Just to check off a box.
Right.
You know, I think diversity is important in films.
Yeah.
I think Dune did a great job with it. But I don't like doing a gender swap, you know, just to check a box off.
Right. Yeah.
And I think what I'm seeing is I'm not alone in this.
No. Hollywood has started to make a shift in their philosophy, because financially, it's not. It is what everybody said it was for a very long time. Go woke, go broke. It happened for real. There's no denying it. The numbers bear that out. We have the evidence.
The problem is this, is that, you know, we had Werewolf by Night come out, right? Which had a female lead.
Yeah.
And was good.
Very good.
Right.
Tremendous ratings.
It's not us saying that we don't want female leads.
No.
That's not what anybody's saying.
Nope.
What's happening is you have these woke casts come in, and they start attacking establishment, basically, and saying, we've taken over this franchise. We're going to fundamentally change the characters that you've grown up loving.
Right.
And if you don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah, you're a homophobe or
a misogynist or a racist.
Whatever
and
it might be.
It's like, whoa. if you do justice to the Joanna Constantine, great.
Yep.
Great. They're talking about doing a series with her.
Yeah.
I'll watch the shit out of that.
Absolutely.
Because it's John Constantine.
Right. But everybody, and here's what, and I know we touched upon it the last one. Everybody wanted She-Hulk to be successful. Everybody loves the character, and everybody was on board with She-Hulk in that series. We all wanted it. And then what we got is the big FU, and yeah, you got a 36% fan rating, and then you. But what the problem is you have Hollywood media shills coming out and talking about how awesome She-Hulk is.
Well,
It's loved, and then the same day that they made all these columns about how great She-Hulk was and how fantastic that finale is, the Nielsen ratings came out and She-Hulk was not in the top 10 at all of any of it.
Right, but the thing of it is, right, is that it's very hard to go on like Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes or anything and look at an audience score and look at a critic score and have the critics say that it's a not, you know, an 80, whatever they gave She-Hulk, and then have the audience score say that it's a 3.
Yeah.
There's no way. So I see that and I go, okay, so all of the critics are bought and paid for then.
Right. Exactly.
So
because they're looking for jobs,
right,
for the most part, from Marvel Studios.
And so I sit there and go, well, I don't fucking. The critic score means nothing to me.
Right. No, you can't take critics' scores at all serious because, again,
not anymore.
Right, because they're not. Because they're. If you go and look at the ratings, it doesn't bear out what they're saying, so you can't be serious. You can't say that a series like She-Hulk was revolutionary and it didn't score in the top 10 in ratings. Like, no, that's you lying through your teeth because you want either a job from Marvel or you want exclusive content for your site, whatever that might be.
You can't change, like, I don't know what the end game is because you can't change the narrative. Like, if the fucking content is shit, it's shit.
Right. And it's not. And again, no one has an issue with strong female leads or diversity. I mean, some people do, sure.
Listen,
but for the most part, we do
games,
not.
Right? I play a lot of video games, and you're seeing this shift where The Last of Us had a female lead.
Yeah.
Right? Who people love.
Right.
Horizon Zero Dawn had a female lead. I just finished A Plague's Tale, which is a great game.
Yeah.
Female lead.
Yeah. I mean, hell, wasn't Lara Croft one of the biggest games at one time?
Sure, and you can argue there's an over-sexualization of her back in the day.
Sure.
But they remade the games.
Yeah.
And they're great games.
Right.
So the thing is that, you know, I've always said that video games, to me, are a lot more, you know, it's active. You're consuming the entertainment more actively, right? You have to, you know, move the sticks and everything, as opposed to movies, which is passive.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't give a fuck.
Right.
If it's a male or a female, I don't care who my main I gotta like them.
Right. You gotta care for the character,
right?
And not be forced to say, "Oh no, this is a great character," and you're like, "No, it's not a great character." Well, then that's on you.
Right.
You're a misogynist. No, I just don't like this D-level character that you're trying to force down my throat, which I know isn't a good character. And you know it's not a good character, but you want to force it for diversity's sake.
Well, the thing of it is, though, is if you look at it, right, if you look at the reception of Joanna Constantine, right, I don't think there was anyone coming out going, fuck them for I was like, you know, I hope they do another, you know, I'd like to see a Matt Ryan-esque John Constantine. But you know what? If we're going to switch it to Joanna, I'm cool. This chick nailed it.
But you had Joanna Constantine. You had Lucifer, who was also female.
Yeah, and she did fine.
And then you had Death, who was a woman of color.
Yeah.
You didn't hear a single complaint
because
about
they were
that.
perfect in the roles.
Right. There was zero complaint about their gender or race. That was never ever brought up.
But at the
once
same
you
time,
watch the show,
it's not like anybody. Well, first of all, the show was very true to the source material.
Right. That's what people cared about.
And so that's the other element of it, right? Is that because I know, another Amazon is firing the show, the showrunners to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Because it tanked.
It tanked big. Yeah.
And, that chick came out at the beginning. Disa came out at the beginning and was like, this is ours now. And if you don't like it, get fucked.
Yeah. Well, did you hear, the person who's going to be writing and directing the X-Men 97 revival animated show, did you hear what he had recently come out and said?
No.
So he was a writer and director on The Witcher.
Oh, yeah, I did hear this.
Okay, so
it makes me furious, but go ahead.
So he had said that the only way you're getting hired for X-Men 97 is if you love and
X-Men
respect
97.
the source material.
Fuck
because on The Witcher, they hated it. They hated the Witcher game, the books, and the characters, and that's why they hated season 2.
I cannot believe that this is how shit is getting made right now.
Right.
Like how you hate hate the source material for the only reason.
But you checked a box. You checked a box to get hired, and then you got put in something and you're like, I don't give a shit. I don't like this. I don't like that. I'm making it to my image, not yours.
But here's the problem, right? The problem is this, and I've been saying this. This is about life. This is bigger than entertainment. Mm-hmm. If you're doing something you don't like, you're not going to be good at it.
Of course not.
Because there's no passion.
Right. And this is the thing, right? And
the only reason The Witcher is decent is because Henry Cavill cares about it.
Yeah, and that one guy cared about it.
But he's gone.
Right, he's gone now.
But I honestly, I'm hoping, I think that they made some, look, people don't like the chick that's playing Yennefer, but I think she's fine, honestly.
I've seen a few episodes, and I don't know the source material, but I thought she was fine.
They fixed Triss's hair in the second season.
Okay.
Triss is fine.
Yeah.
All of that shit is fine.
Yeah.
I think Ciri's perfect casting. I think Geralt's perfect casting. They better fix the fucking armor for the Wild Hunt because they look stupid as fuck. They need to back off of the magic shit, though.
Yeah.
They need to focus more on witchering.
Yeah. Yeah. But, but here again, right, going back to She-Hulk, they after the series ended, and it ended and it's the worst rated Marvel Disney Plus show.
Didn't care about She-Hulk.
But they said, we spent 3 years in the writing room. You spent 3 years. You wrote the worst Marvel Disney Plus show to date. And you said, we don't know anything about She-Hulk. We don't know how to write superheroes. And we don't know how to write courtroom drama. The two things that this show was about, you had hired writers that didn't know anything about either. They spend 3 years in the writing room, produce the worst Marvel Disney Plus show to date, and then we're going to wonder why?
Right, but this is coming up more and more. You can't get away with... Look, I understand that, for a very long time, everything was whitewashed. Mm-hmm. And we're doing the best that we can to kind of... bring diversity to this landscape. Yeah. And I think it's important because there's so much good stuff out there.
But here's the thing. It's if you have a white person and a person of color, and the person of color knows more, and you hire the white person, that's a disservice. If you hire the white person because he knows more, then you hired the right person for this job, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's where the difference lies. If the person of color has the knowledge and is the better choice, and you don't hire that person, that's where everybody should take issue with. But don't just hire them because they check a box, but they don't know anything about what they're going to do or what the job entails. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I take a lot of issue with the showrunner. I think her name is Laura Hurst.
Okay.
For The Witcher. Mm-hmm. Only hiring people that hate the source material.
Yeah.
I take issue with that.
Right.
And I think if I'm Netflix, maybe I look at who I have running my show.
Yeah, well, especially because this guy comes out and said this, right, that a lot of people may not have known. And he's talking about how much he hated that experience.
Because it was horrible.
Right.
Because he probably likes The Witcher.
He does. And so now he has an edict out, which is, I am not ever going to be those people, because I will never again sit in a room and try to write a story with people that actively hate the characters.
Here's what's going to happen, right, is that obviously we're growing, right? And you know that I'll never, if something is shit, I'm going to say it's shit. I don't care if I love it. I don't care.
Sure.
You know, I don't care if they're offering us a deal.
Right.
If it's shit, it's shit.
But if you're offering us a deal, we'll listen.
Yeah, you know.
We're not idiots.
Yeah. But
we'll hate it.
I'm going to tell you it's bad.
Yeah.
And I always will.
Yeah.
You know? And I think what's going to happen is you're going to have...
But that's because you are so passionate and have a love for the source material that you have every right
but not
to say
even just
it's
the
bad.
Source material, right? Even with what we do with Catalyst.
Yeah.
Like I put full effort into it, you know? And it's not always the most profitable because I don't make shit I don't want to make.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I think what's going to happen though is these showrunners and these writers and these creatives are going to say like, look, I don't want to I'm tired of making shit just to check off a box or meet an agenda. I want to make, if I love The Witcher, I want to make shit that honors the source material and does it justice.
Yeah.
I don't want to change it. I don't want to bastardize it. I want to make something that honors it and it, you know, maybe improves it or adds to it.
Right.
Things like that.
That's everybody's attitude should be that when you get hired to be a part of one of these properties. Right.
So now, you know, I'm sure the X-Men 90, but that's, I think, what's going to happen moving forward. I mean, you see it with Black Adam. Right? I mean, what did it get? Like a 40% or something on the critic score?
Yeah.
And what did it get on the
90.
audience score? Fucking 90.
90.
Because it's done.
Giant box. It's any woke project that's come around has failed, and Black Adam is crushing box office. Just like when Spider-Man No Way Home came out, it crushed box office, but the other woke Marvel movies of Phase 4 have not. It's not a coincidence, folks.
I think what it is, though, is, and again, if this is really true, right, with the Witcher thing, with him coming out and saying,
it's got to be true.
You know, well, I mean, again, who knows?
Yeah.
But assuming it is true, and, you know, her strategy was, I want to make fundamental changes to the source material, and the only way I'll be able to do that is hire people that hate it. Why would you want her making movie? Why would you want her running the show?
Well, you know,
make something else.
Well, so my question to that is, well, if you're doing that, then who is your audience? Because if you're going to alienate the audience that loves The Witcher, who is then your audience? People that don't know what The Witcher is, people that don't care about The Witcher. Like, I don't understand what you're trying to accomplish. If you piss off and alienate and drive away the fans of the IP, who are then the fans you're playing to? And And again, I'll say it again. She-Hulk did that very thing. They came out and said, this isn't for you, She-Hulk fans. And the She-Hulk fans said, you sure as shit it's not. And they took off. And then you had no ratings. You have a 36% approval rate, the worst Disney Plus show to date. Who was your audience? Who was your target? Who did you think was going to watch your show when you came out and said, we hate you, She-Hulk fans. We want nothing to do with you. We want the other fans.
Yeah, but
who
you know
are
what else,
those
though?
fans?
You know what else? Is that, the Lord of the Rings tanked so bad because Game of Thrones came out at the same time.
And has done exceptionally well.
Right, because it's not playing that game.
Right, because it's true to the source material, or whatever. It's true to the source material,
Well, they
so
have
to speak.
him working on it.
Yeah.
So I guess my point to it is that it's not a matter of whether or not, diversity is important, because it is.
Of course it is.
And, I'll say it again. I think the girl they have playing Yennefer is fine.
Yeah.
But I think when you come out and you say, we're changing the source material, and if you're a fan of the source material and you don't like the changes we made, that's too bad. Mm-hmm. Anytime anyone says that, it seems that it's been a failure.
Yeah.
And you can add to the lore, right? You can add to it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at Hellraiser. They added a bunch of stuff to the lore, and it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have a female Pinhead.
Right.
But it's a very good rendition of Pinhead.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a shitty rendition of Pinhead, it wouldn't have worked.
Right. But, it's stuff like, look, they make Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And they're touting, this is so very important because this is a Muslim character.
Well, yeah, but they tried with Miss Marvel with the Avengers game, and it tanked.
Right. But here's the problem. So it's like, okay, it's a female Muslim. Okay. Can you make it not shitty? No. It's boring. So I got to sit through that? Okay. So when I don't like it, I'm racist because you made a boring, shitty show with a horrible character that's uninteresting. That's my fault. That's my fault because I should unanimously love this character because you told me she's a Muslim, so therefore I am a racist if I don't like your shitty, boring-ass character that has no real, the superhero aspect of it is terrible, power is terrible, doesn't have a good villain. So I'm the bad guy because I don't like your boring, shitty character and story. But because you told me how important this character is because she's Muslim, I'm the racist because I don't like it. No, I'm fine with that part of it. The part I don't like is it's boring, it's shitty.
Well, that's the
thing.
And
I don't want to watch that.
I've said this before. A woke cast can't fix a broke script.
Right. And so this is what we're getting. We're getting a horrible story. We're getting horrible writing. And you're ruining
but you can
the
add,
potential.
You can add the diversity and just not change the source material.
Right.
Like, that's what
but
I don't
the
understand.
Problem.
Is like
that's what's not happening.
That's what I don't understand is that, like, look, if you want to make... I've said this to you before. If you want to make Idris Elba James Bond...
Sure.
Fine.
Absolutely
he's
fine.
old now, but you know what I'm saying.
Or somebody, the next Idris Elba.
It works.
Right.
It works because it's as long as he's James Bond.
Yeah. Look, there's a half black guy playing Black Adam right now that's killing. I don't know if anybody's heard of this guy, The Rock. I mean, bad example, obviously. He's extremely famous. But you took Hawkman, right? An obscure, C-list character. You changed him into a person of color. Does anybody care? No.
If he's
Is everybody's liking it? Yup. Because you've got a good story.
Is that nobody likes Mira in Aquaman.
Right. Because she's terrible.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is it's not about white, black, brown. That doesn't matter.
Right. But if Mira became if Mira all of a sudden became Zoe Saldana,
great.
We're cool with that.
Great.
I'm cool with that because you gave me an actress that can actually act and that I care about. Oh, she's of color? Cool, whatever.
Did anybody care about the domino switch in Deadpool? Nope.
No,
It was awesome.
another
Perfect.
great.
Zazie Beetz? Yeah,
She's great.
Great.
She was great in Joker.
Yep.
She's great.
Right.
No one, that's not what people care about.
It doesn't matter.
No, but you have to be a good actor and you have to care about the character
not
that
only
you're
you have to
portraying.
be a good actor, right? You have to be the character.
Right.
That's the thing, is that it's not the problem with it all. And then, I'll shut up about it after this.
Okay.
The problem with it all is that you're taking established characters that have sometimes, I mean, Batman's almost 100 years old.
Yeah, it is a long-standing characters for the most part.
So you want to tell a story. You want to tell a fantasy story that has a diverse cast and everything. Cool. You can tell Lord of the Rings with a diverse cast, no problem. But when you start to change the story, right, to feed into, well, it was really this, actually. This is really what was going on. It's like,
right.
No. You can't do that.
No, you can't.
There's never a situation where they make changes, where they retroactively make changes.
Yeah. But for the last 5 years, this is what's been going on, and it's proven out that it didn't work. It's never going to work.
I tried to watch She-Hulk. It was bad.
It's terrible. It is really absolute terrible writing.
And I haven't tried Lord of the Rings yet. I'm going to, because I want to give it a fair shake.
Sure.
That's the thing, is even though I'm always turned off when any of the cast comes out and starts attacking people.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So, anytime that happens, you lose me immediately.
Right. And they should lose everybody that was a potential fan by doing that.
But I will give it a shake, because we gave She-Hulk a watch.
Yep.
So I will try it. Mm-hmm. But, I imagine it's going to be shit.
Yeah, it is, because it's proven out that it is. So it will be.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping, after, I would say probably in the next 6 months, we're going to see the landscape shift.
We will definitely be talking totally different in 6 months from now about the landscape of Hollywood,
which is good.
Yeah.
I think it's I think
it's needed.
I think there's more diversity, which is important.
It is important,
and I think we're going to continue to see that, which is great.
Which we should.
But it's not going to be pushing agenda, like pushing any agenda is bullshit.
Right. Look, if you come out with the Fantastic Four and they're all people of color, but you give me a tremendous Fantastic Four
Who gives
movie,
a shit?
Fine. Like, does anybody care about that?
No.
Nope. No one will say
No.
a word if you give them a true-to-life Fantastic Four story that is like the comics. You do that, people aren't going to care if they're people of color playing those characters. That's not what matters. What matters is the story, the elements of those characters, what they represent. Those are the things, and if you don't change those things and you keep them true to the source material, the rest of it is very easy to interchange.
I think what you'll see, it's a lot of noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot of noise. It's a lot of these loud, obnoxious people that have no talent, that have gotten into positions, and they're just, look at me, it's all, it's
because
peacocking.
they check a ton of boxes.
Right, it's peacocking, and it's always the peacocks that are the ones that are attacking the fans. But again, you had a trans woman play Pinhead. You don't hear a fucking word
Which
from
I didn't
her.
even realize that was a
you don't hear
trans
a word?
person.
You don't hear a word from her.
No. Why
Because-
should you? Because she performs.
Because she was great.
Right.
Because she was great. There wasn't her coming out at the beginning and being like, if you don't like my Pinhead because it's a female, get fucked.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I honestly at the beginning didn't even know that she was trans. I knew she was a woman, and I didn't hear, and there was no complaints about it. I didn't even hear that other thing until a while in, and I'm like, oh, that's even more interesting. And again, didn't hear anybody complaining about it. Then it comes out, and everybody's talking about how great it is, and I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. You can have that if the source material is good and the writing is good, and you keep true to the characters that are established and loved. No one's going to complain about the other piece of it. You can have that. You can have it, but you got to do both.
But it doesn't matter that she's trans.
No, it doesn't matter
That's what
at all.
it is. No, but my point to it is that it doesn't matter because she was great.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and the writing was great, and the character portrayal was great.
right. So here we are saying a trans woman nailed Pinhead. You know, I love Doug Bradley.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
Obviously.
Right.
But she's great.
Yeah.
She is the second.
But he's aged out of the role.
Of course.
So
and you know what?
It's fine that you replace him
and
now.
I think you replaced. I hope she does more. I hope she's like signed on.
Probably
to this,
will after
you know?
how the reception that it's
But
gotten.
that's what I'm saying is like it has nothing to do with diversity.
No.
It has nothing to do with it. I'm 100% on board with her.
Right.
I'm 100% on board with Joanna Constantine.
Yeah.
Sign me up. I thought
Right.
Death was great. I thought Desire was awesome in Sandman.
Yeah, all
like,
of it.
I don't understand why, you know, it's like anything else. I don't have to like everything.
Right.
Just like I don't like all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's just like it doesn't make me misogynistic or racist if you bastardize something I love. Listen, I like season 1 of The Witcher. I think it's a little weird with the pacing and everything and the time jumps. Season 2 is a little long. You know, the stuff with Geralt and Ciri is great. But the magic stuff is boring as fuck. Nobody cares.
No. And the ratings proved it out.
And they're going all in.
They didn't care.
Right, because they're going all in with Yennefer. Mm-hmm. And nobody...
But that's not who the fans want to see. She's
No.
a side character.
Right, the fans want to
That's
see
not
Geralt.
who they wanna
the
see.
fans want to see Ciri.
Right.
And it's just weird to me that, you know, I don't know. All I'll say is this, is that if I'm Netflix... Maybe I look at, especially I know they're hurting right now.
Yeah.
Maybe you look at your contract with her.
Yeah, I would say definitely investigate that.
You know, you're hiring people that hate the source material.
that is bad to hear.
And you know what? Fuck them for signing on.
Yeah.
Like fuck you. Like what? Your big break is going to be to bastardize someone else's work.
Well, but then but then the problem is when you go to your next job, it's going to be, what did you work on? Witcher season 2. That show sucked. Why would I hire you? That was terrible. Like that means you can't, you know.
Yeah, but like even Lord of the Rings, right? Like Colbert was talking to the showrunners and lobbing them softball questions that they couldn't answer. And it's just like, oh, you don't care about Lord of the Rings.
Right. Not at all. Not at all. You're using the name.
Right. But
And that's it.
Bezos loves Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And he spent $1 billion to make sure that they got to make it.
Right.
I was wondering why they didn't buy the rights when it came up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, because the people that you had in charge don't like Lord of the Rings.
Right. Exactly.
Or maybe it's not that they don't like it, they just don't care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them don't like it.
Right, actively don't. And it's just like, you can't change it. Like, that's the thing. You can change it. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you change it into something that you like, it stops being what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we as a, you know, a hive mind, quote unquote, have said that it's a masterpiece, right? Mm-hmm. If you bastardize it, it stops being a masterpiece.
Right. For sure.
So, I don't know. I mean, you know, that's enough ranting about, you know, the wokeness of Hollywood. But I think we're going to see some good shit.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So, Jim, as always, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's going on?
Still making my way, working on issue number 2 of Eva, issue 1 out on Webtoons.
Rad.
And just making sure every week new drawing drops on all of my social media. So working hard, getting stuff out there. Hopefully people will enjoy it.
All right, guys. So that's episode 25 of The Corner. You know, we're growing. We're getting,
Yep.
we're getting a lot of
For sure.
views. We're coming up on almost 1,000 downloads
Yeah.
on the corner. So
Yep.
thank you guys for that. Keep
Yeah,
pushing
thank
it.
you.
Keep pushing
For
it.
sure.
Subscribe to the YouTube. We're getting the Twitch going now,
Yep.
so we're moving on that. Catalyst Creations NH is the Etsy store. We're on all the social medias. CatalystCrafting.com is the main website. You can go there and get all of our links and everything. Just crossed over 600 orders on Etsy.
Great.
So killing
That's
it there.
awesome.
Yeah, and we're getting up there. Getting
Yeah.
up there in the globally. So
Yep.
appreciate you guys for turning out. We do discounts and sales and everything. If you do want to buy something on the Etsy store, you can use Catalyst Corner to get 15% off the entire store. So it's a little secret for you
Nice.
guys. But yeah, let me know what you think. Did you see Halloween Ends? Am I crazy? Am I crazy that I'm unhappy about the way they did Michael Myers? They did him dirty. Do you think James Gunn is going to be able to, right the DC ship? And am I being misogynistic because I'm unhappy with the current state of Hollywood? Let me know in the comments. All right, crew. I'll catch you on the next one.